Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Studios with the Weather Report, the North Georgia edition, exclusively for you Facebook subscribers and YouTube members here on your April the 6th, 2026. Hope everybody had a great weekend with your families for the Easter weekend. That's now behind us as we're going into April. And I will say, I think officially now that we're past Easter, I could say, yeah, it's okay to plant. I'm not seeing any real significant cold snaps coming at us anytime soon. In fact, it's going to be dry, and that's a big part of this story here for the next couple of weeks. And really dry when I show you the long-range precipitation outlook here. And looks like we're in store for fairly cool start to this week. We're a little bit cool toward the middle of the week, but we will warm up by the weekend, and we'll take a look at those levels as well. All right, let's go ahead and start our tour this morning as you take a look over there. Beautiful sunrise there at Dahlonega. I love that orange hue to the clouds there. Got a little few high clouds. The high clouds, there's a little kink along that jet, that front that moved through yesterday that's going to kind of keep some clouds in around us today. So a lot of areas will be kind of partly sunny, kind of a filtered sunshine look for this afternoon. But we'll get more sunshine back in here for tomorrow. And again, still tracking kind of a weak wedge here coming in here on Wednesday that's going to keep us a touch on the cool side as we go through that day. And then we'll warm up for the weekend, like I said. All right, let's take a look here at there's Blairsville, a little closer look there as folks going out and back, getting ready for work for today. Not looking bad there in northeast Georgia. Browstown Bald is the cold spot. Of course, they're at 4,700 feet. They're at 34 degrees this morning with some of those high clouds moving on through the area. And heading on down toward Lake Lanier as well, seeing those high clouds. Winds are pretty calm out there. Not too bad out there in Lake Lanier. I was waiting for it to update. There it goes. And how about Lake Chattooga? Let's check out Lake Chattooga. There we go. 42 degrees up there with overcast skies there along the lake. Yeah, I definitely don't think I'll be dipping in the lake at 42 degrees. That's a touch cool out there. UGA campus also looking at some cloudy skies out there for this morning as well. And I don't think I set up the Helen camera. I did not. No, I did not. For some reason, the Helen camera went down. Their street cameras are not showing up on their main site, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Couldn't tell you, but hopefully they'll get that fixed here soon. In fact, I'll go ahead and just scroll down to the other camera. There's three of them they have on this website that I use here, so I'll just scroll down there. There we go. So it's 44 degrees there in Helen for this morning. So definitely a light jacket type of morning out there for today. All right, let's look at what's going on. Again, we got that little kink along that jet stream, around that cold front down to the south. That's bringing this precipitation along the Gulf Coast, and it's right against some of those high clouds moving in across our area for today. So that's what thus the partly sunny skies. I did revise the temperature down a degree or two here for this afternoon because of those high clouds. But no precipitation coming at us. So that rain we saw over the weekend, some folks saw some pretty decent amounts. A lot of folks didn't. It really was kind of a 50-50 chance, and depending on where you're at. I only got like a quarter inch here at my house. So, again, it's going to be very much on the dry side here as we go forward for the week. Now, here's the satellite picture again, kind of showing those high clouds that are kind of blowing in here across for today. And again, as this thing quickly moves on off, we'll see things begin to improve there with more sunshine for tomorrow. All right, so let's go look at our forecast model. We're going to look at the NAM here first, intermediate model, and not showing much here. Getting that little precipitation. Florida is going to get some decent rains over. There's that front stalls down there. That's much needed. Their drought conditions are even worse than ours here in the state of Georgia. So they got several days of rain there along the Gulf Coast and down toward Florida and out toward like Orlando, Central areas of Florida. They're looking pretty kind of wet. Tries to bring some moisture back. I'm not sure if I'm buying this here for Thursday over toward Alabama and Tennessee, but we stay dry. We are going to have a northeasterly wind, a little bit of a wedge kind of moving here as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Definitely late tomorrow and into Wednesday, I should say. And then we'll see things warm up going toward the weekend. So temperature-wise today, you're looking at mostly 60s to right around 70 degrees. So not too bad. Fairly seasonal, normal high around 71 or so. So not too bad for today. And then for tomorrow morning, you'll have lows back down into the 40s once again. So a lot of 40s out there, right around 50 degrees. So not overly cold. And then going into your Tuesday afternoon highs, as we're expecting a little more sunshine, see temperatures back here in the 70s. Here's 74, 71, 66 in Blairsville. So mid-70s. We got brief warm up on Tuesday. Then we're going to bring it right back down on Wednesday as that next front moves on into the area. All right, so jet stream. Let's talk about this, okay? This is the cool down here. You see the trough here that's kind of digging across our area, and it's going to be lifting up to the north. And the jet stream pattern is active up here to the north. That's where this is going to be. Subtropicals down here. And like I said, they're not in phase. They're not working together, not working in tandem. Fairly weak jet there. Here's a pretty good trough kicking out here. This will probably kick some thunderstorms off next weekend here across Texas. But notice what's happening here. We got this ridging here. Again, that's going to be kind of warming up going into the next weekend. So I'm expecting temperatures to warm up big time going into next weekend with that big ridge in place. And then that little piece of energy kicks on out into the north. So again, the storm systems are coming out. They're going this way, and they're going around us. So that's the way it's looking over the next couple of weeks. And it looks like that holds true here. There's another ridge. Here comes another high-pressure ridge coming in behind that one right there, coming in there. So and it's coming across the south. Pretty good jets. Now this here in the plains, going out toward the 20th, 21st, that looks like that would be a severe weather event. Of course, this is long range, but again, we keep seeing this pattern of these highs, and the drought conditions drought's going to be a problem this summer. I'm very convinced of that right now. So again, here's our upper level disturbance. This is your anomaly map. We're looking for the highs and lows. Whenever you see the oranges, and that's what we're kind of focusing in on. What I'm showing you here, because what you're going to notice here as we go to our next weekend. Look at this big old heat dome. Boom. Another big warm up there. Here's a little upper level disturbance out in the southwest and the northwest. But that kind of sits on over us going into next week. And then it kind of breaks down a little bit. And then we see another one come right back, right back at it right there. But you see the battle line. See the blue. Here's the trough. Here's the ridge. The battle zones here coming out into the plains. So that means this will be the severe weather zone here going up toward the 20th and 21st. That's about what you would typically see going into April, especially going into the end of April. And one thing we're not going to see a lot of here is when you look at the moisture flow, not a lot of green across North Georgia. You're going to notice a lot of brown here, not a lot of moisture coming into our area here over the next, not only week, the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks looking very dry. So that moisture flow, you see it kind of coming out here into the plains. It starts to come back here on the 16th just a little bit, but not a ton. The main moisture flow is here. I mean, you see the battle line here. This is what I'm saying. It's severe weather. If this holds out this far out, obviously, this would be the battle zone here for severe weather out there in the plains. But nothing imminent, folks. This is really not a good pattern here. And watch this. This is I'm going to show you all the way out for 2 weeks. No significant rains of any consequence. Not like what we just had here. That was a decent rain that moved in over the weekend. But we got nothing for this week ahead. Absolutely nothing. This goes into next Monday. Nothing. And not only for next Monday, there's nothing there. I mean, you get these little weak little systems coming, some clouds, but that's nothing. We got absolutely nothing coming at us for the next 2 weeks. Nothing showing on there. Now, it's subject to change, hopefully it does, but that is absolutely terrible. And look at this. This is a 7-day total. Look at this. We've got one big giant hole of absolutely nothing. This is a 7-day. Now watch what happens when I take this all the way out. Still nothing. North Georgia, absolutely nothing here for the next 2 weeks, straight out to the 20th of the month. Wow, that is something you do not see very often. So that drought is going to be a problem. I'm just telling you. Well, we keep watchful on that. Of course, now watching the temperatures. Now, this is going into Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be a touch cool, guys. We got upper 50s up here in the mountains, looks like. Mid 60s here for everybody else. So it's going to be below normal there on Wednesday. So that's our brief cool down. And then as we go into Thursday, we'll start warming things back up. Upper 60s, around 70 on Thursday. Going into Friday, we're middle upper 70s, low 70s on Friday. Going into Saturday, we'll go 85, 84, 84, 80. Yeah, we're got a big warm-up going in on Saturday. And then going into Sunday, still looking very warm. Well into the 80s here going into Sunday. So get ready for a big warm-up for this upcoming weekend with above normal temperatures coming back at us. So let's go take a look at the climate outlook. You know what this is going to be looking like. It's definitely going to be telling the story here. Again, big old heat dome, which is as I was just showing y'all. You see that above normal temperatures. This goes from the 11th to the 15th, and we're going to hold that there, pretty much holding right there. Wow. I mean, you just don't see that very often right there. Coming right there from the 13th to the 19th. So, again, as temperatures warm, the evaporation rate goes up and soil moisture goes down. And then we got below normal precipitation here, and I think this will probably get expanded out looking at the latest model data there. That's going, again, from the 11th to the 15th. And they're trying to bring us near normal. I don't see jack, man. I don't even put us near normal in that period right now. This goes all the way right through the 19th of the month. So right now, Not looking good, my friends, as far as the weather is concerned, as far as drought. So it's very subdued from a weather perspective. From my perspective, it'd be a little bit boring, but we are looking at warm temperatures, and that drought index is something we're going to watch. I really think we're heading toward a 2012 year again, 2007 year again, when it comes to water restrictions and drought conditions and low record lows as far as lakes and stuff. I think we're heading in that direction. And just don't see a pattern change. All the active weather's out in the plains. That's where it's all staying, and we're just not getting anything here in the southeast. I think the abrupt change, it was very, very fast. We're already kind of going into an El Nino, even though technically we're still neutral. But that was a very, very fast transition, and I think that may be playing a part of what's going on here across our area. All right, that is y'all's update for today. Again, appreciate you guys checking us out. I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully we start seeing some changes on that long-range forecast outlook. But for the rest of this week, just get ready for a little bit of a roller coaster ride with the temperature and dry weather going right into the weekend. Oh, and by the way, I will be working at Fox 5, filling in for Mr. Chanley for tonight. I'll be on at 4, 5, 6, 10, and 11. That's all the shows. Yeah, quite a few tonight. So you guys check me out there tonight. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. See you later. Bye-bye.